Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So I'm back in the park today. I just came to the park to take some pictures. So yes, the movie I watched today is a film from 2018 called The Dead Center. I turned on my TV and I was literally just scrolling through recommended movies. This movie came up called The Dead Center, and it said it was about someone who died and then came back to life with something with him. So I was like, well, this sounds interesting. I've never heard of it. So I literally just put it on Prime. I literally went into it completely blind. I didn't see trailers. I didn't see images. The literal only thing that I read was that little section that it told me about, and that was literally it. So this movie, yes, is about someone who comes in, a suicide. He's dead. They take him to the morgue. They go to cut him open. Whatever, they stitch him up, and then in the middle of the night when no one's there, he all of a sudden gets up and starts running around, freaking out, doesn't know where he is, so he gets in one of the hospital beds and starts like trying to get warm because he's really cold. The next day, they figure out that his body is missing, and they're like, wait, you're the guy from the morgue. And they're like, oh, how isn't he dead? And they just call him John Doe at this point. They don't know. So there's two different sections of the movie. There's one section in like this mental institution / hospital, and there's another section with the police trying to investigate it. There's like this guy who's trying to figure out who he is. They end up figuring out who he is. He's just some random guy. They tell his family that his body's gone missing, and this guy doesn't know about his missing body yet. The hospital does, but he doesn't know about the hospital. This guy sort of like he's there, he's normal, like he doesn't know where he is, he's like freaking out, and then all of a sudden he's just dead. He's like nothing. He doesn't move, he doesn't speak, like nothing. And then during the night he goes out and kills people by like grabbing their head and like screaming at them, and that seems to like kill them somehow, which we don't know how yet. The psychologist ends up trying to figure out, who he is. He ends up figuring out his name. He remembers his name, and he tells the psychologist that he was in a house fire, that he should have died, but he didn't die. Something came back with him and is inside of him. So he tried to kill himself, which he thought he did, but he came back. And now this thing is stronger again. So it's like when he died during this house fire, he obviously went to hell or somewhere and brought something back with him, and now some entity or something's possessing him. He says the more people he kills, the stronger this entity gets, and it won't be able to be stopped. His parents end up coming for him once they figure out where he is and that he's still alive. They end up coming for him, but at this point he's already killed multiple people in the hospital, and this entity thing is now extremely strong. It goes throughout the entire street and murders fucking shitloads of people. Like kids, just random people just start dying everywhere. The psychologist ends up finding out where he is and ends up killing him, and that he dies for real, and the entity is gone until the end of the movie, where the psychologist is taken away in an ambulance and this entity has now possessed him. So yeah, that's literally this movie. It was actually really good. I think another thing I really, really liked about it is because I went into it completely blind and knew nothing about it, I actually thought it was a great movie. There were some downsides. It was slow, of course, like every horror movie is slow at some point. And this movie was slow, but I love the mystery and like the build up to it is actually really cool. You never see what the monster is. You see like quick flashes of like a black mouth. You see him like stealing people's souls. That seems to be what he's doing at this point. Sort of like just looks like bees and stuff going into his mouth, and that's all you see of him. You don't see what this monster is, and you don't know what it is. The investigator guy goes to the parents' house. He finds like a pinboard of different things, of different mass suicides, mass murders and whatever. And there's a quote on there that the guy who's the possessed guy has circled. The quote says, "I am the mouth of death. None are beyond my reach. I will render the soul into eternal horror and pain, banishing all to the nothingness beyond the void." That is the quote. And at the end it says, translation from the original Vedic Sanskrit, Covenant of Death, author unknown. And then it just shows like a quick drawing of this entity, which is just like its face is a giant mouth, kind of like the ending of Incantation with the Buddha statue. And I'm now going to look up this quote and try and figure out what this monster is, because that was literally the only hint that we get is that quote of what this monster is. You don't know what it is. It's obviously some sort of demon, because he said he died and it came back with him, so it's obviously some demon from hell. It says the covenant of death is a passage in the Bible. The Vedic Sanskrit. It says it's a Vedic language. It's an ancient language of the Indo-Aryan subgroup of the Indo-European language family. What? The Vedic Sanskrit, the concept of the covenant death, is a direct translation. Isn't a direct translation, but the idea of death and the afterlife is explored through figures like Yama, god of death, and concepts Mritu, death, and Nirati, disease. Yama, god of death. What? Jesus, we're going around in a freaking loop trying to figure out what the hell this creature is, bro. What the hell? Yama. Is this the thing with the face? Nope. Woman with the slit mouth. That's not what I'm... Oh, Jesus, scared shit out of me. So they don't even know. It just says translation from a book and it shows that god. So it's literally just spiraling. We may never know what the fuck that thing is, bro. We don't even know, like, how... What? That's cool, though. That's actually really cool that we don't know what it is. But yeah, it's a great movie. It is slow. I actually like that we don't know what the creature is. I might be able to figure it out somewhere, but who freaking knows? I'll probably give it... It was different. It was definitely different, and it was actually pretty decent. The acting was amazing, also. But, 7.5 out of 10. Let me know if you guys have seen it, and I'll see you in the next video.